Third and not quite final nerd news story of the week, Ant-Man 3. We got some major casting announcements this week.
Ooh, this is good.
It was announced. Our first big part of this story is that Lovecraft Country star Jonathan Majors will play, quote, a major role in the film. Before we get into who that character is, right? That's funny. Shawnee, your thoughts on the news just of Jonathan Majors joining the cast?
I think it's amazing. I don't know if you guys are all watching Lovecraft Country, but it's a pretty fun show.
It's
and
pretty
he's
cool.
Great. I don't know what he did before this,
Me neither.
but he's great in the show, and I love that character. And I'm just, he's will fit perfectly in the MCU.
He is an awesome. He's the show stealer of Lovecraft Country. If you
sure.
haven't seen it, you should check it out. Not the best show in the world,
Yeah.
but highly entertaining, and he's absolutely phenomenal. Well, the studio had no comment, but sources close to the project say he is likely to play the supervillain Kang the Conqueror.
What?
Frickin' how huge is that? Two major Jonathan Majors and Kang the Conqueror.
Oh my gosh.
Coming to Ant-Man 3, which doesn't have a release date yet, by the way, but sources add that, like with so many new characters in the MCU, there could be a twist with how the characters featured in the films, but as of now, he is likely to be one of the main villains in the next installment in the franchise. I'd go one step further and say Kang is probably going to be a major villain in the entire MCU.
Yeah.
I think he's not just going to play, I don't think it's going to be a one-and-done appearance by Kang just in Ant-Man 3. I think it's going to be an introduction, and I think he is going to play a massive role in the future of the MCU.
Absolutely. You and I were talking about this earlier, but that's your segue into bringing mutants back to Marvel.
Well, I wanted to get to that. So if you don't know anything about Kang, I mean, he is a time-traveling entity. Battles with everybody from Thor to Spider-Man, the entire Avengers team. Kang's a major, major player in the MCU. Or just in Marvel Comics in general. But yeah, going back to that little theory that's floating around there about Kang. Kang has been known to go back to ancient Egypt. He's had dealings with Apocalypse. I believe he went back and became a god back in ancient Egypt. I can't remember exactly the storyline behind that. But ties to ancient Egypt is pretty cool because we know who comes from ancient Egypt.
This guy.
The very first mutant, freaking Apocalypse.
Right.
So here's my theory. Here's how I see it happening, how they could introduce mutants into the MCU using Kang. This is not how it worked in the comics at all.
Sure.
But I say you introduce Kang, you have your Ant-Man 3, time traveling, multiverse hopping, all that cool shit. I see at the end of the movie, Kang escapes. He escapes by going back into time, goes back to ancient Egypt, and somehow using Pym particles or something, quantum crap goes down, and he actually plants the seed that starts Apocalypse. Apocalypse is the first mutant. So he goes back in time. He kind of creates Apocalypse, either on purpose or completely fucking by accident. And then the credits roll. Post-credit sequence
is the birth of Apocalypse.
Is there
kind of thing?
I'm thinking it cuts back to the present day Ant-Man and stuff. Because if he goes back in time, sets in motion the birth of mutants, post-credit sequence is, Hank Pym maybe walking down the street. Where the fuck did Kang go? And then you walk by and you see a little sign on the wall that says, no more mutants or death to mutants or something like that. Or they come across a big,
Kevin Feige,
picket
are you
lines
listening to this?
of death to mutants. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And then bam! Now mutants just automatically exist. You just introduced mutantdom into the MCU.
So awesome.
And Kang's going to be the perfect player.
This is so cool. I'm so excited for this movie because due to the time traveling and all that, this is going to be the multiverse setup that we need. And
I think so.
It's going to be awesome.
I think so.
Oh my god!
And I think Kang's going to carry on into the Eternals. You can carry on into everything. You can carry on into the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange 3, 2.
He could be our new Thanos.
He could be the new Thanos, or at least set in motion another supervillain that becomes the new Thanos. So very, very exciting.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Kang the Conqueror. This could have massive implications. Still no release date for Ant-Man 3, but get excited. Any news is good news.
Right?
And Jonathan Majors, awesome.
Great casting.
Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Does the apocalypse theory hold water? Is it total bullshit? Sound off, as they say in the comment section. So, last big nerd news story of the week. This was obviously the biggest news that dropped this week. She-Hulk.
Yes.
Finally, we got a casting for She-Hulk, one of Disney Plus Marvel's most anticipated shows.